On October 14th of this year, we will see the quote-unquote final showdown between Michael Myers and Laurie Strode in the new Halloween movie, Halloween Ends. In honor of this occasion, I have decided to rewatch and review all the movies in the Halloween franchise leading up to Ends, which means I'm going to be revisiting all the movies in this franchise I enjoy, and the ones I don't. With that being said, let us start with the masterpiece that started it all, John Carpenter's Halloween. The film opens on Halloween 1963, where a 6-year-old boy named Michael Myers murders his older sister Judith. He is arrested, locked up in Smith's Grove, and is put under the care of Dr. Sam Loomis. However, 15 years later, he escapes and returns to his hometown of Haddonfield to cause chaos and ends up stalking a teenage girl named Laurie Strode. Now it is up to Dr. Loomis to convince the town sheriff, Sheriff Brackett, to track down Michael and end his reign of terror, and Laurie Strode, who must fight to survive against this killer. Now, what else can be said about this movie that hasn't already been said? Halloween is a masterpiece of a horror film and is not just one of my favorite horror movies, but one of my favorite movies of all time. Its legacy and longevity even went on to inspire other slasher franchises such as Friday the 13th, A Nightmare on Elm Street, and Scream. However, the first Halloween is more like a thriller inspired by Alfred Hitchcock than it is a horror film. While many of its clones and many horror movies today rely more on jump scares, shock tactics, and blood, Halloween relies more on atmosphere and tension to build up to its scares, and that is one of its many, many strengths. Deborah Hill and Carpenter's writing, as well as Carpenter's direction and his chilling score, really helped bring this point forward. For a low-budget movie, they really put their heart into this project. There are just so many iconic scenes in this movie that just stick with me so many years later, such as the long POV shot of young Michael walking up to his house, Michael standing behind the bush stalking Laurie, Dr. Loomis giving his speech to Sheriff Brackett about how evil Michael is, and so on and so on. I could go on and on about all the iconic scenes in this movie, but I'll just be rambling. Let's get into some of the other strengths of this movie, such as the acting. With the exception of one actor that I will get to later, almost all the actors in this movie do a great job with their performances. For her very first movie, Jamie Lee Curtis does an excellent job portraying Laurie Strode. She's very likable, you care about her, you want her to get out of here alive. And Jamie Lee Curtis really does an amazing job selling it. And of course, we can't talk about Halloween without mentioning the late great Donald Pleasence as Dr. Sam Loomis. Pleasence is just extraordinary in this role. Even when these movies get bad, and believe me, they get bad, Pleasence is great in every single one he's in. And nobody can play Dr. Loomis like Donald Pleasence. And the rest of the actors do a good job too, including Charles Cyphers, PJ Souls, and of course the two kids playing Tommy and Lindsay, Brian Andrews and Kyle Richards. Nick Castle also helps make Michael Myers a chilling figure in this movie. He is evil personified. He is the boogeyman. He is just amazing in this movie. And also, who would have thought that William Shatner's face would be creepy? Yeah. Michael Myers' original mask is a William Shatner mask. I mean, that's common knowledge, but if you didn't know that, now you do. The score composed by Carpenter in this movie is also fantastic and chilling. Even if you haven't seen this movie, you know the Halloween theme. It's just that iconic. Hell, I even use it as an alarm clock. Now, any issues I have with this movie wouldn't even be major. They would just be nitpicks because this movie is just so brilliant. However, there are a couple I can get out of the way. Now, when I said that the acting for the most part was great, there's only one actor that I have a problem with, and that's Nancy Kyes as Annie Brackett. Not that she's terrible, it's just a lot of her lines are not delivered very well, they're very monotone, and also hearing her constantly say just kind of annoying after a while. Some of the dialogue is very dated, especially when it comes to Linda saying over and over again. And there's also this one line that Linda's boyfriend Bob says that kind of rubs me the wrong way.
Then you rip my clothes off, then we rip Lindsay's clothes off. Yeah, I think I got it.
Why don't you take a seat?
Oh, I don't want to take a seat.
Have a seat.
No, I'm just gonna go.
Take a seat right over there.
Seriously, I hope that's a joke, because the fact that he said that about Lindsay is very, very creepy if you ask me. Maybe he originally was gonna say Annie, but then he let Lindsay slip, I don't know, but Holy shit, that's just wrong. But whatever, those are just nitpicks. They don't ruin the experience of watching this movie whatsoever. In conclusion, as I said in the intro, what else can be said? Halloween is one of the most iconic horror films of all time. It's one of the most profitable independent films of all time and was even inducted into the National Film Registry of Congress. The acting, directing, tone, atmosphere of this movie are just strong. Even when it's not Halloween, you can watch this movie year-round. If you haven't seen Halloween yet, what's wrong with you? Go watch it now. If you've seen it already, just watch it again. 40 years later, you simply can't beat the original. Overall rating, 5 out of 5.